5% of buildings here were completely destroyed.
Recovery efforts are well underway, with the Salvation Army planning to serve 5,000 barbecue dinners tonight in Marathon and Key West, marking the first hot meals for many since Irma made landfall nearly a week ago. The Justice Department says it will not open a new civil rights investigation into the fatal shooting of a black suspect by a white former St. Louis police officer. The judge ruled he was innocent in the 2011 shooting death of 24-year-old Anthony Smith. Decision that sparked sometimes violent protests. Missouri Governor Eric Greitens.
I think it's terrible when you have people who engage in acts of violence and they ruin the opportunity for a family to go out and have dinner in a restaurant, or a family to go out and enjoy a concert. And that's why we've been so clear that we are not going to tolerate violence in the state of Missouri.
British police have arrested an 18-year-old man in Dover on suspicion of being involved in the bombing of a London Underground train. CBS News correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
Heavily armed security personnel swept in on a home in connection with the subway bombing, a property registered to foster parents who've been honored for their work with children. The raid came just hours after the arrest of the teenager who investigators believe planted the bomb on the subway train Friday morning. Police say he was picked up in the port town of Dover, where ferries cross over to European countries like France.
More than 24 people were injured in the blast at Parsons Green Station. ISIS claims responsibility. President Trump is spending the weekend at his resort in Bedminster, New Jersey, getting ready for his speech Tuesday to the United Nations. CBS News correspondent Errol Barnett says Mr. Trump has had mixed feelings about the UN.
As a presidential candidate, Donald Trump denounced the UN as incompetent and threatened to cut U.S. taxpayer funds. But as president, he says the international body has potential, and in his speech on Tuesday is expected to outline a map to tackle global issues like the North Korean nuclear threat.
Emmanuel Macron will also be making his first appearance at the UN as the French president. Former Milwaukee Sheriff David Clark has been told to revise his master's thesis, or the Naval Postgraduate School will begin the process of rescinding his degree. In May, Clark denied reports that he plagiarized part of the thesis, but a July letter shows that the school found a violation and gave him 100 days to make revisions. This is CBS News.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. If you're in the market to buy a home right now, you know how challenging it is out there. You're competing against cash buyers, so it's critical that you work with a reputable, established mortgage company like Quicken Loans. By getting pre-approved with us, sellers will know that you're serious and ready to close when you make that offer. Here's one more way to get the home you want. You could buy a $150,000 home with as little as $1,500 down with our 1% down payment option. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.61%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
WCBS reporter Miles Miller tells us about a foot race on the Jersey Shore.
Security in Seaside Heights was tight this year. Nearly 1 year to the day, terror suspect Ahmad Khan Rahimi set off a bomb at the Semper 5 Marine Corps charity race. Tommy Boyd is the police chief.
We got security in the water, scuba divers in the water, we got two drones in the air, we got divers and more guys in the bay. We didn't take any chances.
Organizer Frank Costello says that's the reason they kept the race route secret this year.
And we decided we would put the race route out today. When the people came today, we had the books there and the race routes in the book.
Preventing any would-be copycat attacks. The race drew over 1,000 people from 27 states and 7 countries.
Just in case you're wondering, yes, winter is coming. Some places in Montana have already gotten several inches of snow. That's helping firefighters who've been battling wildfires. Some crews have broken out long underwear even as they take on the flames. Sam Litzinger, CBS News.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Ron Kilgore. Our top local stories at 4:05. A man is exposing himself to young girls in Long Beach and Lakewood. California will soon become a sanctuary state. Details in 2 minutes, but first, drop your weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. And we check in right now with Will Handel.
All right, Long Beach southbound 405 at Woodruff. The lanes have reopened after you had that overturned vehicle. Southbound 405 is still slammed, though, from Orange Avenue through Long Beach. In Burbank, westbound 134 before Forest Lawn, look out for the tire debris between the two right lanes that's causing some swerving. Artesia, westbound 91 past Norwalk. 3-car crash on the right shoulder. Your stop and go on the westbound 91 from the 5. Northbound 5 just past the 605. 2-car crash at the center divider. CHP requesting a break. Northbound 5 at the 605 to help it off the freeway, seeing some volume near the scene of the crash there. People making their way to the sold-out Coliseum tonight for the USC game. Busy on surface streets near the Coliseum. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, Exposition, and Vermont. South LA, northbound 110 stacks up from the 105. You'll stay busy up until Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Southbound 110 jams from just before the 5, and it's slammed all the way into downtown Los Angeles. In Hollywood, southbound 101 jams up from Hollywood Boulevard. You're busy all the way to the 110. Northbound 101 slows through downtown from 4th Street up to the 4 level. And Santa Monica, eastbound 10, slow from Bundy to the 405, and then you're jammed through Mid-City all the way to the 110. Your next report at 4:15. I'm Will Handel with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Southern California weather, some clouds and some drizzle continuing, but a warm-up starting on Sunday. Right now in Torrance at 73. In Fullerton, it's currently 78. 4:07 on KNX. There is a warning out for parents in parts of Long Beach and Lakewood about a man who's been exposing himself to young girls, and they're taking it very seriously.
$50 off your plumbing service. Call 877-PLUMBER. That's 877-PLUMBER. Or visit SoCalPlumbers911.com.
Call 877-PLUMBER. SoCalPlumbers911.com.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Ron Kilgore. Stories coming up. It's not wise to ever commit a crime, even less so if you record it.
Hurricanes, financial winners and losers. That story's coming up in 5 minutes when Bloomberg checks your money.
Man arrested in connection with the terror attack on a London subway. Those stories and more coming up in the next 15 minutes, but right now, at 4:15, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here's Will Handel.
All right, Long Beach, southbound 405 at Woodruff. You've got lanes reopened after a crash with an overturned vehicle. Southbound 405 still suffering, though. Traffic is slammed from Orange Avenue as it continues to recover. Santa Fe Springs got a new crash. 4 cars involved. Northbound 5 at the 605. Earlier crash has left the left lane blocked there as well. Stop and go on the northbound 5 from Artesia Boulevard. In Pasadena, eastbound 134 at Colorado, steer clear of the clothes and debris that's blocking up the 2 left lanes there. In Artesia, westbound 91 past Norwalk, 3-car crash now on the right shoulder. Still as you stop and go on the westbound 91 from the 5. In Hollywood, southbound 101 jam from Hollywood Boulevard to the 110. Northbound side of the 101. You're busy through downtown Los Angeles from 4th Street all the way to the 4 level. And people making their way to the sold-out Coliseum for tonight's USC matchup. Busy on surface streets near the Coliseum, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, Exposition, and Vermont. Expect delays there. South LA, northbound 110, you're jammed from the 105. It stays busy all the way till you reach Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Southbound 110 jammed up from just before the 5 all the way into downtown Los Angeles. There's Fresh and there's In-N-Out Burger Fresh. Come see your made-to-order burger being freshly prepared before your eyes and taste the In-N-Out Difference. Your next report at 4:25. I'm Will Handel with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Hey there, everybody. Thanks to an area of low pressure, we are going to see lots of in-and-out clouds, not only for today, but into the rest of the work week. For this evening, for the beach communities, we're looking at numbers that'll slip into the low 60s. LA and Orange County will see numbers right around 65, while the valleys will see numbers. Monday, we warm up ever so slightly before those temperatures hover right around normal for the rest of the work week. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Martina Brown, KNX 1070 News Radio.
And in Santa Ana, it's 74. In Santa Monica, it's 71. Or 17 on KNX. People who commit crimes and then record the event could soon find their prison sentences extended because of that technology.
When bad things happen, people do often reach for their cell phones to record the incident before offering help or even to call 911. Ed Peisner's son Jordan suffered brain damage from a sucker punch in West Hills when he was 14, a crime captured on video that went viral on Snapchat. Since then, Peisner has tried to change the law when people conspire to commit violence for social media fame.
I'm hoping that this creates a pause, add a little bit of accountability. I work within the school district now, and I see it all the time. The phones come out so quickly.
Under the bill sent to the governor, if someone convicted of a violent felony also reported a crime, it could be considered to lengthen a sentence. Peisner says social media isn't bad, neither is tech. It's the people who use it who need to consider their actions and be held accountable. Vicki Moore, KNX 1070 News Radio.
About 15,000 people throughout LA County turned out as part of the International Heal the Bay coastal cleanup effort today. The group's Matthew King telling KNX that last year alone they collected about 15 tons of trash.
That's both uplifting and depressing at the same time. I think it's a little bit depressing to think about how much trash is still out there in the ocean and on the beaches. But it's also uplifting to think that, people will roll up their sleeves and donate a couple of hours to protect what they love.
Heal the Bay has coordinated LA County's Coastal Cleanup Day for nearly 30 years now. State regulators are investigating a now-closed UCLA pharmacy after an inspector reportedly found the facility was using expired ingredients to make compounded medications.
Drugs were meant for patients at UCLA medical centers. The LA Times reports state board pharmacy records show more than 1,000 IV bags of medication for patients with heart problems and other serious health issues were made with outdated, potentially dangerous ingredients at this off-campus facility. A UCLA statement insists there's no evidence any of it was actually administered to patients. The pharmacy was closed in October. The Times reports before that happened, the pharmacist in charge abruptly quit and declared his license inactive. The pharmacy board's accusation is pending. On Gibson, KNX 270 News Radio.
Orange County Republican Congressman Dana Rohrabacher told White House Chief of Staff John Kelly this week, barely trying to negotiate a deal to help WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. In exchange, Assange said he would produce alleged evidence that Russia did not provide the hacked emails released by WikiLeaks during the 2016 presidential election.
The key to determining whether or not the Russians actually hijacked the election by working with Donald Trump, by hacking into the Democratic National Committee. The secret of disproving that is to say who did. And Julian Assange has, when I met with him, repeatedly told me that the Russians were not involved at all.
Rohrabacher met with Assange in London last month. He's been living in the Ecuadorian embassy there to avoid extradition to the United States. The White House official did confirm that Rohrabacher did talk to Kelly about the plan, but that Kelly apparently turned him down. The Wall Street Journal says President Trump was not told about Rohrabacher's plan. 420 on KNX. I'm going to check on your money. Hurricanes, financial winners and losers. Here's Joan Donner.
The direct economic effects of back-to-back hurricanes Irma and Harvey hit the White House economic growth this quarter. These kinds of disasters can help one corner of the market, commodities. Will Ryan, CEO of Granite Shares.
When there are years where you've got an all-named hurricane, commodity prices, broad sector have historically done well.
He cites 2005
Bloomberg Commodity Index increased 18% in the second half.
demand for things like gas fuels already increased. Ryan said Irma may have destroyed half of Florida's orange crop.
Orange changes futures are probably going to get squeezed as part of the month.
And those aren't the only examples.
Lumber, wood.
A month would end up before the most expensive U.S. storm. You check your money at 20:50 after each hour on Bloomberg's Joan Donner, KNX, and 17 News Radio.
421 on KNX.
Do you think that you need thousands of dollars in cash to buy your dream home? Well, think again. I want to introduce you to the American Dream Grant Program. Here's how it works. This grant allows you to buy a home with only a 1% down payment, or it can be applied toward your closing costs. This removes the two largest hurdles to buying a home. The American Dream Grant offers ultra-aggressive interest rates, making your monthly payments affordable. The American Dream Grant is licensed exclusively to marketplace mortgage, and unlike other grant programs, requires no repayment. Call 888-66 low rate. That's 888-66 low rate. Ask about the American Dream Grant Program and buy your dream home with just 1% down or reduced closing costs. Buying your dream home is a reality. Call 888-66 low rate. 888-66 low rate, or visit AmericanDreamGrants.com. Certain restrictions may apply. Marketplace Mortgage is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS 169740.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
This is Bob McCormick with Elder Care attorney Zorn Vasich with Nursing Home Solutions. Zorn, who's paying for nursing home care in California?
Medi-Cal is the primary payment source for nursing home care in California. Nursing home care can easily exceed $10,000 a month, and yet most families fail to apply. With our help, most families do not have to spend down to become eligible for long-term care Medi-Cal.
You can talk to him now at 800-773-6467. That's 800-773-6467, or go to nhscare.com.
Todd Pennington here. For no-tent termite treatment, call 800-PACIFIC or PacificCoastTermite.com.
The stuff you hear around the office water cooler in the morning is chatter. What you hear on KNX in the morning impacts your life. Breaking news, updated all morning long, plus traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s. The KNX Morning News, Monday morning at 5. Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. KNX 1070, News Radio.
423 on KNX. An LA County Sheriff's deputy sticks out his arm to ease the fears of a young boy. Here's the KNX Helpful Honda Hero of the Week.
The hospital can be a very scary place for a kid, especially when someone is coming at you with a needle.
No, he was very adamant and vocal about not having his blood drawn.
Enter LA County Sheriff's Deputy Ola Poliski and his partner. They walk into the ER at Henry Mayo Hospital on business.
So we're there, part of our daily routine. We were bringing someone in to get checked out, my partner and I just heard this kid just screaming. Top of his lungs, hear it through the entire hospital. So, as deputies, we are very curious. So I walked over and I just seen his mother holding her child and asked her what's wrong, and she said, well, he's afraid to get his blood drawn.
Deputy Poliski tells me he just did what his instincts told him to do. He checked with the boy's mom and then stuck out his arm.
So I just asked her, can I help? And she said, yeah. So I sat down next to the kid and I said, hey, how about I do it with you? It's no big deal. And he just kind of looks at me and stops screaming for a minute. And I said, no, I'll do it with you. And I put my arm out, and the nurse looks at me and asked, you really want me to draw your blood? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And then I'll do it together. So I kind of kept him focused on me and looking at my arm. So while they were drawing blood from my arm, he didn't even realize it, but they drew the blood from his arm.
The mom was very concerned about her child and grateful once the boy's blood was finally drawn.
No, Mom was very preoccupied. You know, she just kind of said thank you, and we just kind of parted ways right there, and that was it.
Then it ended up on Facebook.
Yeah, my partner took a picture.
The mom was really grateful.
Yeah, she was. She sent a nice email saying thank you, and, you know, but as long as we can get the little kid through it, really, that's all.